better questions. But it was unfortunate. Another thing that happened last night after the debate is they wouldn't let us in the spin room. I sat with Don Jr. and Matt Gaetz, and we got up and went straight to the spin room, and they wouldn't let us in. Fox News and the RNC would not let us as surrogates for President Trump. It was shocking. Can you imagine? President Trump's own son, Don Jr., wasn't allowed in the spin room. Two members of Congress, Matt and I, who actually write legislation, pass bills that can make it to the president's desk, but they didn't want us in the spin room. It was pure censorship, and that's what we're seeing from the media on that level, and that's what we're seeing here. It's all about President Trump's speech.
And so I saw last night your post interview on RSBN about that, and you were pretty upset about not being let into the spin room. Any word from them today?
No, I haven't. I interviewed with them over there. We'll see if they put my interview on.
What about President Trump? When is the last time you spoke to him? If he's in good spirits?
Oh, I've spoken to him many times this week. He's always in good spirits, and I have to tell you, it's a lot of fun to talk to him because he'll always ask me how my family's doing. He asks me normal things like a friend talks to you, and I really appreciate that. He's always thinking of other people first. And that's incredible. And it's hard to imagine for President Trump to be going through all that he's going through, but yet he still, every time I talk to him, thinks about me and my family and other people.
Right, the people's president, right there. People's president.
So let's talk about
To tell Fani Willis that we will be investigating her under the Judiciary Committee and that she's abusing her power. This shouldn't be happening. This is my home state. I care about Georgia, and we have to stop the weaponized government.
What do you think about them going after?
I'm with you, Vanessa.
Okay, so let's talk about taxpayer dollars. I mean, you look at all the resources being put into being here. I've been talking to people here in Atlanta who are.
Let me stop for just a second. Say hello to everybody. Hello, Ken. Hello, who else we got in Sarah? Hello, William. Mr. William Tyre. Hello, Miss Karen. Hello, Nassara. Hello to all you guys. It's great to see y'all in here. Just showing the supposed Trump arrest. So let's get back to it. Here we go.
From Atlanta who live here, and I asked them, what is the talk like on the ground? I don't live in Atlanta. What are people saying here? And they say, is our money being spent?
Hey there, Mima. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Wisely? No, they're not happy.
So I grew up in Decatur. And then I moved to Cumming, finished high school up there. I've run a construction company in the state of Georgia for years. And I'll tell you, being in and around in Atlanta and working here in this city, I've never watched the people in Atlanta have their lives made better by government. They're always held in poverty. Crime is always bad, and things don't get better. And I think that's completely wrong. People work hard. They pay a lot of taxes, and it shouldn't be that way. And
Been so long since I've done this, I've almost forgotten how, but it's coming back to me. Good to see all you guys. Welcome, John. Welcome, Mima.
Even having local law enforcement, many police officers have quit their jobs because they don't have the support, because Fani Willis would rather abuse her position as a prosecutor and go after President Trump than go after murderers, go after child sex traffickers, go after rapists, go after the gangs. And help this city be a better place for people in Atlanta to live. And that is disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful.
And, again, that's what I was talking to people here in Atlanta about this morning, is that I looked at the Atlanta Twitter page just 2 days ago, and the police department sent out a tweet of the 10 most wanted people in the city, and they're all murderers. These are people that they're asking their citizens to look for, but yet we're here today to put Donald Trump in jail.
That's absolutely right, Vanessa, and that's a great
point. Welcome, brother. Good to see you.
Any of the people that live here in these local neighborhoods, they would much rather see Fani Willis going after those murderers than actually doing all of this to go after President Trump.
So again, your message to the district attorney today.
Trump taking all these people down. You watch, he's going to take a bunch of people down. This is what this is all about.
she's going to be in trouble. And another thing that's happening in the state of Georgia is October 1st, the state of Georgia is going to be convening a council, and they will be investigating Fani Willis and providing oversight into her office. That was a law that had been passed here in Georgia, and that's exactly what they need to do. And then another thing that'll be happening, and this is really important, is our Judiciary Committee is launching an investigation not only into Fani Willis, but also other state DAs and their coordination with the federal government, the Department of Justice.
And so we look forward to that. You know, President Trump put out this on Truth Social: you come after me, I'm coming after you. And we know retribution is coming.
Well, I got to tell you, President Trump has one of the best lists I've ever seen of over who needs to go down.
I need to see that list. I'm sure it's pretty long.
Well, let's get him back in the White House, and we'll watch it publicly. Yeah.
And so we have a lot of people surrounding us right now. Forgiato, again, let's talk. You know, you and Marjorie have worked together. Again, while you're here today and coming from Florida, how it's important for you.
Well, it's good to see people come out here supporting Donald Trump. It was good to see him in Florida, good to see people in New York, good to see people in D.C. You see the same four agitators, paid agitators, like I told you, we're always going to see. And it just shows, you know, people are just tired, they're fed up. And a lot of people who don't support Donald Trump are starting to support Donald Trump because of these indictments. These indictments are...
This is courtesy of Right Side Broadcasting, guys. So just so everybody knows, the credit is all theirs.
turning against them. They're helping Donald Trump, I think.
And you've been here since the early morning hours. What has the tone and mood been like with all the people here?
Positive, no issues, no arrests, no problems. Everybody's been cool. Everybody's one big family. Everybody's having a great time promoting Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
And Marjorie, to be clear, are you going in there to go talk to?
So what's the rest of your day look like?
Well, I've been in Iowa, went to the state fair as a surrogate supporting President Trump, went down to West Palm Beach after that, spent some time with important meetings there, went out till Milwaukee for the presidential debate to represent President Trump and all of his wonderful policies. So after this, I'll be spending some time at home with my family and friends. So I look forward to that.
We're glad you're here. And then, of course, you know, representing your state and also President Donald Trump. It's a huge day, historic day, somber day. It's I was telling someone earlier that it's almost like you need to put me on
Welcome, Maxim. Good to see you,
rewind and
brother.
play me again, because here we are again for yet another bogus indictment.
That's right. It's another bogus indictment. We'll probably see more of these. This seems to be their only way to campaign, right? Arrest President Trump. They think that is actually going to change the election, and it's not, because people are suffering in this country. And the presidential election is not about a popularity contest. It's not about who you like. It's about electing the man that will bring back the right policies for our country and help America and make America great again. Hey, thanks, Vanessa.
Thank you, Marjorie. It's so good to see you, Marjorie. We'll see you soon.
Right here.
Yes, thank you. We'll see you soon. Thank you. All right, so just bear with us as the crowd goes through. So we're back here. You heard it from Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is here to send a message to the DA here in Fulton County to let her know that this will not be tolerated, and that, again, an investigation will be going into her. One has already been started, and supporting President Trump as well. Forgiato, what do you think of her answers and her fight for
Hello
America?
and
Well,
welcome.
she's spot on. You know, she's dealing with the fight. She's dealing with the hate. I love her.
Well, you're
That's why
better
she's
off
America's
here.
MVP. She's always out. She's
Welcome,
showing her
Hoot.
face. She's one woman. She can't make everybody happy. She's fighting just like Trump. You know, he has a lot of negativity, a lot of hate. Donald Trump's not perfect. He's fighting for everybody. He's human.
Absolutely.
I
And
love what she stands for.
And you know, a lot of people are out here with flags and tumblers, Trump tumblers, and you name it. But we have a special offer for you. I want to mention this real quick before I forget. BigTrumpKnife.com. Have you seen these?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, they're really cool. BigTrumpKnife.com. That's where you need to go, because they have something for everyone in your family. If you have a Trump
What's up,
fan in your
AC?
family, make
Good to
sure
see
they
you,
get one of
brother.
these Trump knives.
Welcome.
It's stainless steel. Trump 2024 is etched on the blade, laser etched. The patriotic handle scales are crafted of a panel that says "Take America Back." Make sure before you order that you know your state and local regulations on knives before purchasing. So
Me too.
BigTrumpKnife.com.
Me too,
Go
Hoot,
get
believe
you
me.
One, I'm going to have to get
There's
one.
one, yes.
But I'll get a couple.
It ain't him.
Hey, this is one of our friends we see at a lot of events. Knock, how are you doing?
Good.
Good
How
to
are you?
see
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen you everywhere, Mar-a-Lago, different events. Talk about, we know why you're here today, but talk about the importance of why you're here.
You know, hi, Dreddy and everybody. And because you know that why number 4? Now number 4 in that, right? What happened? Why you don't do what first one? I'm inspired for him everywhere, and I support for him. I know what Trump won. And yesterday, when I look at Twitter and X now, right, and I see, oh my God, 5 minutes, 5 million people, and I say, I'm more, my family and me go counter. 84 million like when just 15, 17 minutes.
Yes.
And we won. Trump won.
Trump won that debate. Yes.
Trump won.
And he wasn't even on stage.
Yeah.
Listen, this is one of the people that have been with us since day one. I'm one of the day one people. There's about 10 people you see all these rallies. Baxter Trump has been out here. Jonathan Rich has been out here. Knocking her husband, Ben. That's great. These are great people. This is
There
people
comes
that
the
really love
man,
Donald
I
Trump.
think.
We really love America just like you.
And we're hearing right now that Donald Trump is just now landing here in Atlanta. So he is wheels down right now in Atlanta. Welcome, President Trump. You have a huge backing here for you. America.
Sure, Trump won.
Trump, we're good to hear. Waiting to see him come across, and we're here with you. They're trying to humiliate Donald Trump, but this is making him bigger, making him look like a gangster.
I've already heard, and I'm going back to your shirt, I've already heard people from all over saying, I'm almost ready for the mugshot because I want to get shirts made. I want to get flags made.
So I had this for a couple of months. I've been wearing it. I knew it was coming. And some people were like, why are you doing that to Donald Trump? I knew it was coming. You got to embrace it. This generation these days, they throw stuff at you, catch it, and turn it and market it. You know what I mean? Donald Trump's a great guy. Things happen. They're trying to do whatever he can do. They can't beat him all the way down.
Let's talk about Rudy Giuliani. He turned
Oh,
himself
no kidding.
in,
They say
and
it's absolutely
he
right.
had an interesting
Boy,
statement.
say
I
wrong,
retweeted
as
this
usual.
or what is it now? Re-X? Re-X. Put it on Instagram. I really loved his interview to the press because he said they're not just going after Donald Trump now, they're going after his attorneys. That's never been done before in America. So no, they've never gone after a former president, but they've never gone after attorneys as well. And then Rudy Giuliani says Trump was right again by letting you know that he's just standing in the way. They're trying to get to you. They're trying to get to you. They're trying to get to you. They're trying to get to me and everybody here. And so Rudy Giuliani, if you haven't seen his message, go back and look at that. He had a wonderful interview yesterday saying, there are 19 people named as co-defendants in this indictment. And so Rudy said, there's people on here I don't even know. That's proof that they're going after the everyday American.
I wouldn't expect nothing less. I mean, if you serve Donald Trump McDonald's one day, you might be on this list. I mean, they're trying anything they can do to break this man's spirit. But one thing about Donald Trump, he's built a foundation of bricks with all his achievements. So when you knock him down, he doesn't go down to the bottom. He goes right back to where he left off. And the last place he left off was where? The White House. So go ahead and put him back in there for us.
Yes, on Pennsylvania Avenue. And, I wonder all the time, how does he do it? That's why I asked Marjorie a while ago, what are his spirits like? And she says he's just a friend. He's always in good spirits. And when I ask the people in his circle that are close to him, I ask often, how is he doing? Because I want to know. And so they all say the same thing. He's
just landed a few moments ago, taxing up right in front of us. Now, let me unpack some of the things that's going to take place. Is we are going to, once he parks, we put the blocks underneath the tires. We're going to go around on the opposite side of the plane, underneath the wing, and that's where we're going to get President Trump walking off of Trump Force One. Maybe might spend a few minutes with the press here. Don't know. It's all up to the president. And after that, he will get in the motorcade, and we will get in our assigned vehicle, and we will follow President Trump to the Fulton County Jail, where he will be processed there. But if you're just now joining us, welcome. We are live here at the Atlanta airport awaiting.
I haven't got it up there yet, Hoot, I think that was, but I can get it up there pretty easily. I mean, it's no big thing to get that up there. But I haven't got it up there right now. I'm just showing this for right now. And I'm going to get off and get ready for tonight.
President Trump to make his arrival here. Vanessa Broussard has been giving you coverage in front of the Fulton County Jail. Great interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about the proceedings, not only what's going on today, but a little bit of the debate last night and some of the feelings that people have towards what's been going on with the president as far as the weaponization of the DOJ and some of the candidates and their plans for what they think they can do with this country. I might have to dip out of here just for a second because the engine noise is rather loud, but
we are surrounded by a lot of people using their cell phones, a lot of people using internet here to try to get live feeds. So be weary of that and be patient with us as we bring you live coverage here from Atlanta as President Donald J. Trump comes and turns himself into the Fulton County Jail. Right behind us, security is tight. We have seen lots of sheriff's office personnel here, lots of bodyguards, flashing lights. As I was pulling in today to the jail, Forgiato. You know, that's a hard thing to say. 4G auto. Get tongue tied. Whenever I come in, for blocks and blocks and blocks, law enforcement officers all over, and it makes me wonder. Okay, if they actually can put him in jail, is this what this is going to be like? And the taxpayer dollars that goes behind this, like, what's the logistics behind President Trump being in jail if he were to go to jail?
I don't think the Secret Service will allow that. First of all, I don't think they can do that. If they gave Trump in jail, he'd have to have his own.
President Trump coming in on Trump Force One here at the Atlanta airport. He's going to park it, put the blocks underneath the wheels, cut the engines, and then we are going to go around to the other side of the plane. Hopefully, we will have an opportunity to talk to the president at that point as he makes his way into the motorcade. Glad you're joining us. Vanessa Broussard is live at the Fulton County Jail. We'll continue to bring that. What's that? Before we get to the president taking a quick break off this plane, I'm going to thank our friends over at the Wellness Company. They are the leader. If you want to get back to pre-COVID health, if COVID and the vaccine has kind of left you, a little tired and not yourself since the vaccine and since getting COVID, then Dr. Peter McAuliffe may have the solution for you. The Wellness Company's got a great formula to take that spike protein out of your blood system and get you back to feeling pre-COVID self. And of course, we've heard that the new strand is going to come.
What's up, Milo?
So
good to see you, brother.
The most important thing to you right now is your health. So log on to the website, makecaregreatagain.com. Check out our friends at the Wellness Company, Dr. Peter McAuliffe, developing this special formula to help you get back to that pre-COVID health. We're going to make our way underneath the wing here, where we'll get President Trump to walk off of Trump Force One here. We're bringing this to you as it develops, very much like we did in D.C., New York, Miami, and now in Atlanta, Georgia, as we get back into position. Once the president gets off the plane, and from that point on, we will get in our vehicles and follow him over to the county jail processing. Let's get a good camera position here to be able to get the president to walk off the plane here. Looks like Susie Wiles, one of the Trump advisors, stepping off the plane first. We'll try to give you a little bit of a head count of a roll call, rather, of who is getting off the plane as much as possible. We are getting a look at the service vehicles making their way around the tail of the plane, making their way on this side of it. And that's where President Trump will get in and make his way to the Fulton County Jail. We want to remind everybody, right now it's important to share this broadcast. Comment, share this broadcast, tag a friend. It's important that we get as many eyeballs on this broadcast as possible. And like Marjorie Taylor Greene said earlier,
that's what I call a presidential possession there, or whatever you call it, with all them vehicles. I mean, my goodness. What is it, about 20 of them or more?
The MAGA mugshot. I do encourage everybody to post up these mugshots in support of President Trump, in support of what he's going through right now, and showing your love and support for the president to help fight the weaponization of this DOJ and this Fannie Willis and others that are involved in the 18 other co-defendants here. So that's one way you can do it. And
Big welcome to the beautiful Kiss Off. Hello, Kiss Off, and welcome, girl. Wonderful to see you.
social media, hashtag MAGA mugshots. Not familiar with the individuals getting off the plane right now. I would imagine they're likely some security detail as they get into the vehicles. We're going to kind of let this play out as it unfolds, and maybe we get a
Sure
few
don't, do we,
questions with the
Meemaw?
president.
Nowhere near it.
We have not been told that's going to happen, but it's all up to however he feels at the moment. Of course, a lot has been probably going in the president's mind right now, being this fourth indictment. I would imagine he is in good spirits. I know the last time we talked to the president at the Iowa State Fair, he was in a great mood. He was there, big support there in Iowa at the fair. He's got big support really about just about every early state that he's been to: New Hampshire, South Carolina, Iowa, in particular. So I would imagine he knows that America is supporting him and absolutely making their voices known that they overwhelmingly want the president to be the nominee for the Republican Party. And of course, if you look at the polls, his numbers after each indictment has his approval rating.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Of how much this has got to take not only on the president as far as taking his mental focus away from campaigning, but also it's a financial strain, the legal battles.
Knowing UAC, you probably do. So, whatever.
That he has to deal with, the financial battles that he has to deal with. And that is the goal of many of these indictments. It's not necessarily for the indictment itself, but it's other than to bankrupt some of these people that don't have the means to fight a lot of these court cases. And so you've got one individual that did not post the bail and still remains in jail to this day from one of these indictments. So
Absolutely.
This is something that's not only a political burden, but it's also a financial burden as well. We're going to stay tuned. We'll see what happens here momentarily. We are live here in Atlanta, Georgia, awaiting President Trump to get off of Trump Force One. Don't forget to follow us across social media platforms right now. You can follow me at Brian Glenn TV on Twitter. You can follow me on Truth Social. It's one of my favorite, at Brian on Truth Social. And don't forget to follow us across every platform. Not only subscribe to us on Rumble, but make sure you're following the right side on Facebook, Twitter, and definitely Truth Social, Instagram as well, to make sure you stay in touch with everything. And don't forget also to sign up for our newsletter. Just go to rsbnetwork.com and click on the newsletter,
Lauren.
subscribe, put a couple, just some.
Welcome to Brother Lauren. Good to see you, Lauren. Welcome, brother.
Minor details, information in there, and sign up for our newsletter. The door is about to come open on the motorcade, so I'm expecting. There he is right there.
There he is. There's the
stepping
man,
out.
red
Let's listen
tie and
up.
all.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move over to the shuttle here as we've been instructed by the service detail. We're going to make our way to the first press van that you see there. We're going to shoot out the window as much as possible. Now, I'm going to note there will be no audio. Once we get inside this press vehicle, there will be no audio, so we will have to cut the audio and go to back to Vanessa Broussard, but we'll continue to double box this as we're live here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, everyone. We are back here live in front of the Fulton County Courthouse. I'm Vanessa Broussard, bringing to you live coverage from Atlanta. Lots of people out here supporting.
Hello, Chrissy Cat. Welcome, girls. Very good to see you. Welcome, welcome.
President Trump. Great to see. When you come to these Democrat-run cities, you really don't know what to expect. Like, for example, when I was in Washington, D.C. a couple of weeks ago when Trump turned himself in, tons of MAGA supporters out there, only a handful of protesters. Same case scenario here, only a few protesters, but everything's been peaceful and quiet, and it's been a really good sign for President Trump when he arrives here at the courthouse to see all these people supporting him. Hey, you know, the economy is really bad right now. A lot of people are struggling. I'm with you. Living paycheck to paycheck is not easy. A lot of you are working double jobs, 3 jobs just to make ends meet. So if you're thinking about your 401k, your IRAs, your future, what it may hold, try.
It's that guy that AC supports fault. I think his name is Biden, something like that. Anyway, the one AC supports, that's whose fault it is. It can not possibly be President Trump's. Not possible. And I did say President Trump.
The Birch Gold Group, very great, good company, and they will have a representative come and reach out to you if you just text the letters RSBN to 989898. Again, text the letters RS.
Meanwhile, I haven't heard a thing other than what Mr. B put up yesterday, I believe it was, about him being sick. But I hadn't been paying a lot of attention because I've been sick myself. Just started feeling halfway decent today. Hadn't been on any this week. So anyway, no, I haven't heard anything about Shane one way or the other, but prayers go out to him.
SBN to 989898, and someone will call you and come up with a plan just for you that better fits you. You don't have to put in a lot of money. Just work with them on what you can
Chris
do to
Cat,
protect your future. And again, that's the Birch Gold Group at 989898. Text the letters RSBN. I want to bring in Robert Bose now, who's the former White House policy advisor. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Butterfly. Good to see you, girl. Very good to see all you folks again. I'm telling you what, I've really missed all you guys since, I don't even know when I was on last now. But anyway, welcome, guys. Very good to see all of y'all.
Much for coming on RSBN. How are you?
And I got to say, give a particular welcome to Mimo. It's really good to have Mimo here because she don't stay up very late and she always misses my show. So good hearty welcome to you, Mimo.
Doing
great, thank you. It's a sad day. Lots of injustice here. These are innocent people. Every one of the indicted people are innocent, and it's a sham indictment by Fani Willis. What a shame.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think it is, Chris Cat. The reason he's doing it, and that is because I think it's all part of the plan. You know, however you want to look at it. To me, it's part of a way larger operation, and you know, we just all got to try to figure it out the best way we can. But that's what I think.
It is definitely that, and a lot of people here are on your side and agree with you with that, because here we are yet again. But this one, 19 people or so named co-defendants. You work with a lot of them. We're hearing, of course, President Trump, but let's talk about the other people in the case. What is their mood like?
Well, so there are 3 kind of fake allegation lanes. One is pressuring election workers, computer breach, and the third is what they call the fake electors. Well, let me just take them in reverse order. The fake electors are legitimate contingent electors. They're called for by the Constitution.
I really appreciate that, Constitution.
Many states have done that
really
and had backups in case
Thank
the
you.
Congress were to challenge. And they were intended to challenge. There were something like 174 members of Congress that had telegraphed their intention to challenge certain states' electors. So what all the folks did in Georgia and elsewhere, they were not forgeries. They were not false statements. They were legitimate contingent electors.
Mayor,
totally
the beautiful mayor is here.
So how do you fight that? You know that it's
Welcome, Mayor. It's so good to see you, girl. Welcome, welcome.
bogus, but when you're dealing with these DAs and these, judges and these juries, how do you fight that knowing that you know the truth, but will they side with you, or are they going to be political about it?
Well, there's some very good attorneys and lawyers who've been very, very brave to step up and bring those constitutional arguments why these are bogus charges. So many of them have a very good counsel. Some are still scrapping. You know, some of the people who are really harmed by this lawfare are still, you know, some have public defenders. So they're going to do their best. You know, what's interesting is that they did not indict all 16 electors. Why only a few? Were they just the people who are not Brian Kemp's friends? Or is there were some people that were kind of left out of this thing? Why weren't they indicted? It's curious.
Okay, and so for the people who were, surely in the indictment it told them why. Was there something different in the others who weren't?
Nothing different about them. They all were the same thing. They all met at the Capitol. They had to do it as a backup plan, or else Georgia would have lost any electors. So they all they knew that Joe Biden had been certified by the Electoral College, and they needed to have a backup plan in case there was a challenge by the Congress.
And so obviously this is going to be looked into and brought up about why these people and not the others.
Oh yeah, we'd be like to see that come out in court.
So let's talk about, we do currently have someone, a co-defendant, currently in jail. They didn't bail out. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so this is the in the realm of those that were allegedly pressuring election workers, which is, again, a bogus charge. Didn't happen. So Ruby Freeman.
And I pinned Red Pill's Cash App at the top. So if you guys are in the mood to give, it would be a great thing, because Ken, Mr. Red Pill, he really needs everybody's help. So please give if you can. Thanks, guys.
Had a moment of contrition January 4th of 2021, where she wanted to spill the beans on the election fraud in Fulton County. So she was, you know, struggling with the morale. She said she could trust God, but she didn't trust the government. She voluntarily asked for people to come to her house to come back. And then she actually called the FBI agent and got a coordinated approval to meet at the Cobb County Police Station.
Hello,
so
brother.
voluntarily,
Welcome.
She wants to spill the beans. So she goes to the
Welcome, LSP. Good to see you, brother. Welcome.
Cobb County Police Station. It's on body cam. The visit at the house is on body cam. And we got the transcripts where she says, yes, she voluntarily wanted to talk about the concerns she had. She was troubled by what happened. So she talked about how they had finished counting the absentee ballots. There were no more to count. And then they looked around and they said, well, there's nobody here in this state farm because they cleared them out. So they said, lucky, boom, under the table, cut the zip ties and scan them so the number would go up. Those are her words. And then she says, she talked about that with in an investigation. Well, she met with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, the Fulton DA, FBI, DOJ, BJ Pack, who's the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia. She met with them, and she said they didn't ask her any questions. They just told her to clear her social media. And then she goes further to say, you know what's going to really blow your mind? She said the USBs are going to blow your mind. We said, well, what? So one of the guys that was on the phone with her, Harrison Floyd, she goes, Miss Ruby, what is that? What are you going to tell us? And she says, I'm not going to tell you. I want an attorney. I want to go live. I want to go live on every platform. It's going to blow your mind. So we'd like to hear what Ruby said. But you know what? The next day, she did a police report. Police report was fine, no crime. And then there was the federal people were in the station listening in. Somebody did a police report supplement 4 hours later that tried to twist it and say, it's because of the election. They threatened her. The evidence does not show any threats, no pressure. They made it up. Somebody made up and cooked up a police report supplement here in Cobb County, probably with the help of federal people. So everybody that was trying to help.
Oh, and hey, y'all, please don't forget to like this video, because I'm planning on leaving this one up. So please give it a like if you would. Thanks, guys.
Facilitate Ruby's whistleblowing. They were just doing the right thing. They weren't pressuring her. So, but the FBI went to her house the next day, took her from her house on January 5th for 2 months. She testified. Now she doesn't have a job. She doesn't work. She's got a place to live for a couple months. Then I don't know what she's doing, but she's playing the system pretty well.
And so again, going back to everyone else that turned themselves in,
Yes.
we do have one that's still here.
Yeah. So sorry. So
You're good.
Harrison Floyd is one of the guys who wasn't even in Georgia. He was no longer part of the Trump campaign at the time. He had been executive director for Voice for Trump. But this is weeks later, and he got on the phone because a couple other people, Garrison Douglas and Trevian Cuddy, they went to Ruby's house, and then they met at the police station. And Harrison was happening to join in on the phone later and just ask her, how we can help her, and she
Thank you,
voluntarily
LSP.
wanted help. So that's all he did. There's no pressure, but the media's after him. False stories by Washington Post, Reuters, MSNBC's ganging up on him, and they're ganging up on him based on the
Mr. William Gramer, hello and welcome, sir. Good to see you again, William.
police report supplement, not what the police are on body cam talking about.
I just want to remind the viewers right now, he is a co-defendant in this case.
Yes.
So this is who we're talking about.
Yes.
This is one of the co-defendants.
Right. Harrison Floyd came in here about 3:00 today in Fulton County and was going to check himself in. He did not want to post the bond. And he tried to check in, and they said, well, you don't have bond. And but he ended up coming back, and he's in jail now.
What was his bond set at?
I think it was $50,000, but I'm not sure.
What was the reasoning why he did not want to post bond?
Well, he didn't have the money. First of all, I mean, to come up with $5,000 scratch is for a guy, he and his wife and his young daughter, didn't have the money. So he's like, I'm gonna stay in jail.
Wow. Do you think that this is an attempt to just bankrupt people?
Oh yeah, there's no question. There's just wholesale lawfare organized from the top to do electors from every, what they call the fake electors, the legitimate electors from 5 or 6 other states. Michigan had their set, Georgia has a set they're going after. Some of them, not all of them, but no, it's an intimidation. It's to try to rack up legal fees for them. So
Absolutely, it is. So we are seeing people come in. We are pretty sure this is. Let's show behind us. Looks like some security
Put him in jail.
coming in. So people rushing to the street. We do not believe that was the president, but it was some security coming in. So back to you. Yeah, we were watching Rudy Giuliani yesterday, and he was saying he does not think that the goal is to charge these people. It's just to bankrupt these people because the everyday American cannot afford all of these legal fees that are associated with these accusations.
Mayor Giuliani is exactly right. This is an intimidation to rack up legal expenses.
Exactly right, William.
I believe
Exactly
Bonnie
right.
Willis knows that she has a legal problem with these cases. They want to try to get the allegation out there to try to force them to get lawyers. But if this gets to appeal, it's going to get knocked out on appeal. All these charges, all 19 of these people are innocent. They did nothing wrong.
Robert, you were the former White House policy advisor. I'm going to ask you a question that I get probably the most from everybody. Any event I go to, people ask me, I don't have an answer. I know what I hope does or doesn't happen. But people at home want to know, what are the odds of President Trump being locked up?
Well, I think that there are many motions to dismiss that are going to happen. There's federal removal that can get it into a legitimate court. This Bonnie Willis, coordinated from DOJ on top, it is a real stretch on the Georgia RICO law. If it's removed to federal, very little chance of anybody going to jail. The whole thing might get removed to federal. But there also may be motions to dismiss on constitutional grounds as well. First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, 14th Amendment. There's plenty of reasons to get this. So it would be very unlikely if anybody, unless they're volunteer, like Harrison Floyd decided he's gonna fight it out, and but most I think will not do jail time.
I'm glad you answered that for me, because that's all I can tell people. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer, and I know it goes through different stages and different steps. And again, I know what I hope will not happen. And of course, I hope that he does not go to jail. But to hear from you, someone who's an expert in the field, thank you for telling us that, because that's what the people want to know. What are the odds? What are the chances?
Well, thank you. This is election interference, and they've timed it so that they may have a trial level conviction. But I think there'll be motion to dismiss before that. So, but they're trying to time it to.
That's a good question, Chrissy Cat. What we got to remember, though, is that all of this has been planned out. I mean, planned to a T by both sides, the good and the bad side. Yeah, they're wanting to do this crap to, try to keep Trump from debating, or not debating, but campaigning and all this kind of good stuff. But this is going to come back the reason that Trump and all of them want to do this is because the stuff is all going to be turned around to be used on them against Obama, against the Clintons, against Biden, against every one of them. That's what it's all about. That's why this is happening.
To have the maximum impact before, Iowa caucuses are coming up in the middle of January. There's maybe some states that have early voting. South Carolina, Nevada are right behind it.
Right.
So all these are staggered too. You notice all the 4 indictments are staggered to try
Right around the same
Oh,
time
yeah.
as the Iowa caucus.
Totally purposeful. That's the end goal. This is election interference, and it's the witness tampering that's going on is on their side, on the DOJ, FBI side. They're the ones that are tampering with witnesses. They're intimidating them. They're trying to get them to flip. There's nothing to flip about. They didn't do anything wrong. So it's such a sham. I feel badly for these people. This is injustice. It needs to be stopped.
Absolutely. And again, I just want to reiterate too that President Trump has said it.
Just let me say, and I'm not comparing Trump to Christ here, but I'm just use it as a comparison. Back when Christ was crucified, before he was crucified, he said, "You're not doing nothing to me. You haven't got control over me. I could call down 10,000 angels if I wanted to totally wipe you out." He didn't say it like that, but it's pretty close. And so it's basically the same way with Trump. I mean, he is, in my opinion, he's commander in chief, not the resident. Biden is the resident, but my point is that if Trump wanted to, he could call out all kinds of military right now to do whatever he wanted to do. So, but it is a plan, so he won't.
Dozens or more times. They're not coming after me. They're coming after you. I'm just standing in the way. Rudy Giuliani said that outside of the jail yesterday.
Latina,
President Trump
hello
was
and
right.
welcome.
He said that they're
Good
not
to
coming
see you.
after him or Rudy. They're coming after the everyday American. And we're seeing that with this indictment, all the co-defendants. Rudy Giuliani even said, I don't even know some of these people that are listed. They're coming for everyday Americans now. And that's scary for you, for me, for the people at home.
Well, that's an interesting point because you said that they didn't know each other. The electors in Georgia, they knew they needed to have an alternate slate. There was no coordination there. There's no enterprise or conspiracy. That's bull. The people in Coffee County, the election workers in Coffee County, including a Democrat, by the way, who authorized Judge Amy Totenberg to release discovery and have them inspect the machines. And they offered responses to open records requests to look at the Coffee County machines. That was all authorized. And those people, they were doing their jobs because they knew that there were major malfunctions in the voting results in the machines weeks and months prior in the primary. So after it was certified in Coffee County, then weeks later they said, well, we better go back and look at this because Dominion couldn't tell us what was wrong. So again, those people did nothing wrong. The people helping Ruby Freeman did nothing wrong. They were facilitating a whistleblowing action. The electors did nothing wrong. It's so sad. And you're right. It's people should be concerned about a massively imbalanced justice system that is selective. I mean, look, Fulton County, you probably covered this, that, Fani Willis has high murder rate, high rape rate. Did you know that 3/4, 80% aren't even found every year?
Yes, I was actually looking up the Atlanta Police Department's social media pages this week, seeing all the murderers are on the hunt for, they're on the search for. And while they're asking the public to look for these criminals on the street, we're here today for President Trump.
Right. There are 160, 170 murders a year in Fulton County. Maybe 20 or 30 get solved. The rest, none solved. Rapes, 300, 400 rapes, most not solved. It's what is she doing? I mean, I know what she's doing now. She's spending 100% of her time on a political witch hunt. She should be actually enforcing the real crimes.
And so, another thing that the average American is asking, the taxpayer dollars being put into play here, not just here today, but what if this goes to trial? What if, Trump has to reappear in court and all of the resources put in? It's the residents who are suffering. It's the taxpayers.
Absolutely. Justice is being denied to many other real crimes right now. And there's a judge on top of Fani Willis, Judge Robert McBurney. He's also putting down on this. The courts are closing the courts for 2 or 3 weeks just to deal with these things. So justice is being put on hold for everybody. And Robert McBurney's got there's some real 2020 litigation cases that are still going on. there's 3 cases still in the courts on 2020 election fraud, and Judge Robert McBurney is holding those up. He's passed his deadline to decide to move those because he's tied up on this witch hunt.
Well, Robert, anything else you want to say? Again, I just want to talk about the co-defendants in this case, the ones that you're working with. In my mind, I'm hoping that they're hopeful, that they're positive about what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah, so I think the constitutional arguments are really strong
what's up, brother? Good to see you.
pull
Welcome.
these cases out of Fulton or to dismiss them altogether. I think if we get to a fair trial, this is all gonna go away. This you'll find out in retrospect, just like all the other hoaxes before.
Please.
You know, and President Trump talks about all them, the Russia hoax, the impeachment 1 hoax, all the hoaxes that have all turned out to be
Thank you,
false
LSP.
frauds.
Appreciate you,
This
brother.
one too, guarantee it. It's gonna be turned out to be what it is now, election interference, and people will look back and say this was a scam.
All right, Robert, thank you so much. I'm so glad to talk to you and offer your guidance on everything that's going on, and the best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you, Vanessa. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you. All right, so now we are going to tell you about another sponsor of ours today. Let's talk about the Wellness Company. Damar Hamlin, Jamie Foxx, and now Bronny James. We all know what's going on here, although the mainstream media doesn't want you to say it. Dr. Peter McCullough and doctors on President Trump's advisory committee in 2020 who were censored for recommending ivermectin. Remember that? They are still saving lives every day. These doctors have come together to bring you the Wellness Company. The most common question Dr. McCullough and his Wellness Company doctors get is this question: how do I get spike protein out of my body and protect myself going forward? Well, spike protein is the legacy of COVID and the vaccines, and it is linked to all kinds of long-term health issues, most infamously for causing people to die suddenly. So spike protein can also be shed from one person to another. As we fight to make America great again, you need to be taking steps to protect yourself from toxic spike protein in the environment. So the only product on the market that combines ingredients researched for their ability to destroy spike protein in your body and block it from binding your cells. So get yourself the Wellness Company's Spike Support Formula. That's the Wellness Company's Spike Support Formula. You can feel your best and you can stay that way. Go to makecaregreatagain.com. Again, that's makecaregreatagain.com to escape the government-run healthcare model. And you can also use the code RSBN to save 15% off your order. Again, RSBN for 15% off. That is makecaregreatagain.com. We now have not just law enforcement on the ground. We have helicopters circling above us, just giving us a sign that President Trump is close. Anytime we see the helicopters in the sky, we know that his motorcade is near. Now, there are different entrances to.
Now, why would just an ordinary, everyday citizen, and yeah, he's supposed to be an ex-president, but why in the world would he have helicopters flying above if he was just an ex-president? He'd have Secret Service covered, yeah. But I mean, helicopters? I don't think so.
The jail. So we don't know exactly which entrance the president will be going into to turn himself in. There's an entrance behind me. There's an entrance in front of me. And there's also an entrance on the other side of the jail. So we'll stick with Brian Glenn, who is in the motorcade, to kind of get word on where they're at. We know they're on the interstate right now heading this way. And so, again, the people out here have been waiting for the president since the early morning hours, some even camping out since yesterday. So they have their flags, they have on their hats, they have on their shirts that say MAGA. And
no butterfly, I haven't seen that, but it don't surprise me one bit. Probably in a Democratic district.
they just want to let President Trump know that they have his back. We are hearing now that the president has arrived to the jail. The president has arrived to the jail to turn himself in. He will be fingerprinted.
The man. What's
he
up,
will
Keno? Good
have a
seeing you, brother.
mugshot,
Welcome.
and he will post bond, we're told. And I believe it's $200,000 cash bond that he has to post to be released from the jail. From that point, he'll head back to the airport and fly off on Trump Force One. So again, we are outside of the jail right now, multiple entrances, always unsure which way the president and his motorcade will go, but we are lucky and grateful to be with Brian Glenn and the motorcade for that. So I'm going to let our photographer kind of turn the camera around just to give you a sense of what it looks like here. We're not in the main area. There's so much media and so many people that we had to come to the side to get a signal to bring you this live broadcast. But this is kind of a look at what we're seeing here. I always like to show you what I'm seeing. And this is my view here from outside of the jail. You see Blacks for Trump is here. They've been here all day, always supportive of the president. A group follows him around, and they do lots of interviews and speak to a lot of people about why they back the president. Looking at a sign now that says Georgia knows Trump won. Georgia knows Trump won. A big, huge banner here on the main road, which again, we don't know if President Trump will come this way, but a big sign that says Trump won with underneath it the words Save America. A lot of red, white, and blue here in Atlanta. As Marjorie Taylor Greene joined us earlier. Forgiato Blow, the rapper, joined us earlier. Just a somber day yet again. We were in New York for that indictment. Then we went to Miami for the Mar-a-Lago, what President Trump calls the boxes hoax. When Mar-a-Lago was raided, we were in Miami for that indictment when he turned himself in. And then just a couple of weeks ago, we were in Washington, D.C., when President Trump turned himself in there for the accusations against him dealing with the 2020 election and also January 6th. And here we are yet again, now this time in Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County. President Trump turning himself in on accusations of racketeering dealing with the outcome of the 2020 election. I bring these four cases
Beautiful
up
Indy
to tell
is
you that
here.
in all of the
Hello, beautiful Indy, and welcome, girl. It's wonderful to see you. Welcome, Indy.
these locations, it's a somber feeling. It's not like a rally where people are excited and they're, they're chanting and they're.
Beautiful Salton is here. Beautiful Salton Light. Welcome, Salton Light. Good to see you, girl. Welcome.
Happy and smiling. These are worried, concerned citizens who are taking their day off work or using a vacation day to be here to support the president. So a lot of concern, but a lot of people ready to hit the polls, they say, in 2024. And they say no matter what, they will vote for President Trump. We talked to you a little bit just moments ago about the wellness company. We also want to tell you about the Big Trump knife. If you stand with President Trump in 2024, then you need this massive statement-making fixed blade knife. It says Trump 2024, laser etched with a wavering American flag and a stainless steel half guard. It keeps your fingers from slipping. The patriotic handle scales are crafted of a blue panel that has Take America Back. That's
my buddy and brother Buff is here. Welcome, Buffin. Good to see you, brother. Welcome.
It's in white, surrounded by white stars and a red and white striped acrylic panel. The fixed blade knife comes with a belt sheath for easy to carry. Go to bigtrumpknife.com. Get this collectible knife today.
Hit the like button, bud.
Again, that's bigtrumpknife.com. Now, be sure you know your state and local regulations on knives before purchasing. bigtrumpknife.com. All right. Again, we have Blacks for Trump walking by. Hi. How are you? We're with RSBN. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm fan.
Beautiful Miss Tyne Duff is here too. Welcome, Tyne. Wonderful to see you, girl. Welcome.
Fantastic.
Trump-tastic.
Trump's-tastic.
Okay, let's talk about
Trump-tastic.
Trump-tastic. So let's talk about, Trumpsters are not racist. So we see you at a lot of these events. Talk about the importance of yet being here at another indictment and your feelings today.
All is exciting because Fox News said that Trump would never be seen on TV again. They told me the same thing. But
when did they tell you that?
Months ago, because, they stopped putting Trump on TV. They go out of their way to make sure, even Newsmax, they make sure that
all of the rallies that I went to, which was almost everyone, they make sure they edit me just out of the picture. But I don't mind because.
And Indy, thank you for calling and or texting rather and checking on me last night. I really appreciate that. Thank you, girl.
Do you know why? I'm only interested in Trump winning so I can get freedom.
Oh, and then today, the beautiful Salt and Light texted to check on me. Thank you for that, Salt. I appreciate y'all.
So I'm not trying to show off. I don't need him to get rich because I'm already rich. Ooh. I got my own money and I raised my own money.
You're a hardworking American.
Yeah, a real black man who's a real American. And all I want is Trump to give me liberty or give them death because they are the ones that are breaking every rule and law. They're scared to say that, but that's what James Madison meant when he said it. Otherwise, he wouldn't pull a pistol on the British and shot him. He wants freedom. Trump wants freedom.
Andy.
He's the only one standing up for the black man and the white European Gentiles. I love him desperately because he put his life in jeopardy for us. That's why when I was in Palm Beach and all of the white Republicans didn't show up, and I had 15 of us out there, I cussed out every white Republican. I said, how the hell can you not be out here for Trump when he put his life on the line? Guess what? The next time when we went to New York, you couldn't fit the Republicans out there with so many of them. That's why I'm so proud that they stood up, because when they want to say boo and we run, because especially black people, if you say he's indicted, or you can't even get a phone call into them because they're not answering no federal indictment. They don't want to talk about it. So I'm showing them that boo didn't work. We here, and we're going to stand for Trump forever, and we want him to be president for even ever. Because you know what? They cheat on the election, so we might as well have him president forever. I'll show him how to eat right and live forever. Don't worry about that. But Trump is absolutely the greatest president in America's history. ISBN has been one of the greatest. It's between OAN and you guys that I think are the best. Newsmax is okay, but they edit me as much as they possibly can. But I've done a lot of great interviews with RSBN.
We appreciate you and we appreciate your compliments. So let's talk about being here in Atlanta. What has the vibe been like?
And the beautiful Queen Survivor is here too. Welcome, Queen. Good to see you, girl. Welcome, welcome.
For you today while you're out here?
Oh, today, well, the vibe has been great, especially among black people. We only have a few nuts like that right there that bother us. So I don't care nothing about, I don't care nothing about them. I got veterans, but anyway, don't say nothing else. So the whole point is,
just to let you know, watching at home, there's just one guy behind us. It's not a bunch of people. I will stand by my word. You can stand by me too to say there's only a handful of protesters here. There's not a lot. There's more of us than there are of them.
They're scared to come out here because we're here. See, Black Lives Matter and Antifa don't want to face me. See, I am the answer to Obama, Queen Latifah, Oprah, all of that, because they can't talk to me. Because first of all, I don't need them. They need Clive Davis and all those other sorry, no good suckers. You understand? So I'm out here to stand up for the good Latin, white, and black man, because we are the people that God loved and chose. So I'm here to fight for you with my life. You understand?
So let's talk about Fani Willis. What do you think?
I don't call her Fani. I call her Mammy Willis. Mammy is a Sambo slave beating, no good cow from hell. I say that with all respect to you because I don't want y'all to get in trouble, but I am totally against her because she's just.
Oh, believe me, Queen, I'm trying my best to stay strong and well. Thank you, girl.
Indicted 35 black women for RICO, meaning that they can go to jail for 20 years for cheating on tests. Something that should have gave them 2 months in jail or probation. Yet she does that when she can get all their property because that's what RICO requires. Then she putting out black young men in jail. If YSL kills somebody, well, yes, prosecute them, but don't use RICO because RICO, they're gonna get 130 young black men, then take all their property. They never get it back because they're saying black people and white people don't have rights to own nothing. So Trump himself is a white man who's discovering that he's a Negro like us. You understand? Because they're treating him and white deplorables, they treat them worse than black people, but they don't know it because they think Hillary is a white person. She's a totally different type of white person from white European Gentiles. She's a person called a Canaanite. They were cursed white. They're not white Gentiles. White Gentiles are the most blessed people on earth with us. Because God said, blessed be Shem and Jephthah forever. Jephthah is the father of all white European Gentiles. Shem is the father of all of the black Hebrews. Not the Hebrews that call white people the devil in New York, because those are nuts. I don't have nothing to do with them. I'm a Yahweh Hebrew, because Yahweh was the first one to tell me the white man is not the devil. In fact, he's lighter than most white people with blue eyes. So I'm not against you. I'm with you all the way.
So let's talk about, again, being here, and we talked about the district attorney, the crime rate in Atlanta, the murderers on the street. What is your reaction when it comes to all of this crime, the high crime rate, the people out there committing, sexual assaults, again, killings, and yet we're here for President Trump to go to jail?
That is the stupidest thing you've ever seen. They got time
right now
to mess with Donald Trump, the greatest president in America's history, who's done the most for black people that has ever been done. Abraham Lincoln didn't even do better. He was going to give a $5 billion platinum plan. And I'm trying to get black people to start doing the math. That equals $3.7 million per black person. If we're going by 47 million black people that's over the age of 18. Trump gave that. Biden said, wait till after the election. That's why Ice Cube was upset with him. Trump is the only one that gave all of the black colleges money forever. He's the only one that passed laws against human trafficking, which really affects black and Latin and white women, but black women the most.
And the unemployment rate went up. Went down, I should say. The more blacks got jobs.
More blacks. No, see, I don't count jobs. I count opportunity. Trump gives opportunity to run and do business. You understand? He makes it conducive to make money. He takes your taxes low. Yeah, you can't get it. What's the sense in getting rich in America when Biden is there and he's taxing you out all of the money? Right. That's the biggest trick in the world. So Trump, black people now, I'm in Atlanta. I'm here with some stars, real stars that are scared to come out in public, but they're out here with me. So black people see him with me, they be like, oh man, what is he doing here? Wow, that brother. See, and I do that on purpose to get them, they're now getting used to standing up for Trump. They see that the police was disrespecting the deplorables out here and being very disrespectful.
You're welcome, Queen.
And I kept trying to be nice, and they kept being more crazier and crazier and crazier till I just started literally cussing them out. That's the only thing they accept is a cussing out. They felt so embarrassed, they started treating the white deplorables good because they hate you. You understand? Because you stand for goodness. You the one fought to free me. They hate you for that.
We hope everyone watching, no matter your color, fights for goodness in America. That's what it's all about. So good to see you. Yes, good to see you. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, everybody. See you soon. BlacksForTrump2020.com. They're usually at every single event, again, out here supporting President Trump. Just a couple of protesters out here, not too many protesters. It's mainly peaceful, quiet here in Atlanta as we wait for President Trump to get processed inside the Fulton County Jail. Taking a look here. We're going to turn the camera, or can we turn the camera around just to get some reaction? We do have a couple of words being said back and forth, but it's peaceful for the most part. We'll just listen in. I will say that a few words going back and forth, and the only cuss words are coming from the protesters. So everyone is going about their way, which is good. All right. So again, just a handful. You see two right there. I wish we could show you more of the crowd, but they're back the other way. When we head that way, the internet kind of dies down on us, so we have to stay put right here, but there is a large crowd of people to my left, which would be your right, directly in front of one of the main entrances to the jail. It looks like we're getting some words back and forth now. So I think people are just hot. They've been out here all day. We've been in over 100-degree heat, standing out here sweaty and hoping to see a motorcade, but I don't believe that the president came in this way. We did not see him, so he must have gone in through the other entrance. But people here have been out here again, waiting and hoping to see the motorcade so they can support the president. But a little tension over there right now, but not too bad. So yeah, so we're gonna see if we can move this way. We're gonna walk and see. Yes. So we're going to try to get a better view, and just bear with us as we move. You're coming with us. And you can see more of the crowd here. They have barricades up, bold group. So again, you're just looking at live pictures from outside of the jail as we wait for President Trump to be processed. 19 co-defendants named in this case, including former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who turned himself in yesterday. Rudy Giuliani addressing the press yesterday, saying that not only is it unjust for a former president to be indicted for what he's accused of, he says never in American history has an attorney been accused. And so Rudy Giuliani went on to say that everyday Americans are also noted in this indictment. So if you haven't heard the interview that Rudy put out yesterday, I encourage you to do so online. It was a very good informational interview to see where he believes we stand as Americans. He says President Trump was right. No American is safe if this is the new way of justice in America. Again, President Trump inside the jail at this time being processed. He'll be fingerprinted, and we'll have a mugshot for you as soon as that is released here on Right Side Broadcast Network. So we are just waiting to hear word. We also have Brian Glenn, who's with the Trump team on the other side of the jail. And we are standing by right now.
All right, taking a live look from the motorcade as we are leaving the Fulton County jail. The processing took about 15,
what's up? Good to
17
see you, brother.
minutes. And you're taking a look at some of the
Welcome,
crowd.
JM.
And we're going to pass just where the press area is and make a left-hand turn up here. You saw it when we came in. Literally, I would say hundreds of people in this tiny media area, all capturing video of President Trump now leaving the jail. I've got to say, it was surreal pulling into the jail. Now, we've obviously have done courthouses in the past, but this time was a little different. This going into a facility that is surrounded with barbed wire, heavy security, obviously very much feels like a jail. Did have a different impression of me, I got to say, a little different than the previous indictments and activities that we've been with the president at these houses. A little different feel here. Also, the vibe is a little different overall. I feel
Lisa D, hello and welcome, girl. Welcome to the show.
like we saw a handful of supporters on the side of the road. Really only saw two different areas
Steve, my
of
brother.
supporters
Welcome, Mr. Steve Harlow. Good to see you, brother. Welcome.
on the side of the road. Mostly a lot of media, obviously, and a lot of people that just simply have come out of the house, just said, hey, you know, this motorcade is quite large, and it's really gotten the attention of people that live and work in this area. So they've come out of their homes, their businesses, to take a look at what's going down. This is a historic day, and I'm sure the local authorities here have done a fantastic job of blocking off all of these streets.
No, John, he'll be released, if not already released, and then head back to his home, where in Mar-a-Lago or wherever.
In advance, so there is no cross traffic on this way, and you've got a great look. And I've got to say, you got to bear with us because this motorcade, we are traveling obviously through these city streets and with the bumps and the turns and the brakes and the acceleration. Periodically, accelerating quickly. That's going to shake the camera a little bit, so bear with us on that. But I know Vanessa went over some of the charges, and I'll put them up on social media. I know Grace, our social media and editor-in-chief, will push that out here shortly. But just a different scene of this motorcade, guys. I know, Vanessa, you've done a fantastic job being live outside the jail since our broadcast. Now we are headed back towards the airport, and at that point I've been told that we could have a few minutes, perhaps the president sharing his thoughts on what just happened, and hopefully we can get some sound from him as he walked off Trump Force.
That's what gets me. The sheriff there said he would be treated like any other prisoner, no different. I was kind of think they might treat him a lot worse, but you don't walk into a jail, any jail that I've ever been in anyway, and I've been in a few of them, and walk out in 15 minutes time. I mean, it takes longer than that to fingerprint you. But I'm glad he's out. Don't get me wrong, but something's going on here.
One obviously gave a thumbs up halfway down the stairs. Party. There's absolutely no doubt. I'm going to toss it back to Vanessa, and we'll continue our live coverage here in the motorcade.
Hi, everyone. We're actually on the other side of the Fulton County Jail.
Hey,
Vanessa
Garrett,
Broussard
welcome,
coming
brother.
to you from where a lot of Trump supporters are gathering. They've been here all day hoping to get a glimpse of President Trump in his motorcade. I believe they went on the other side where Brian Glenn is. I want to introduce you to some of my new friends, our RSBN viewers. So good to see me. Tell me your name and where you're from.
I'm Allison Harrelson. I'm from Covington, Georgia. I'm Michelle Donaldson from Covington, Georgia.
Random JL.
Covington, Georgia.
Good to
Welcome. Good to see you. Welcome to the show.
see you. Some Georgia folks here. So, how does it feel knowing that this is taking place in your state?
It makes me very sad to know that this can happen to a former president. And I call it a witch hunt, too.
And so I know why you're here today, to support the president, but what is the feeling like for you? It's a historic day.
It is, but it's a sad day. That's all I can say. It's a sad day, and that's how I feel.
And how do you feel about, President Trump? You're obviously a huge fan of the president, and to see that he's going through this again and again, yet another indictment.
I'm just glad he has thick skin, because I don't, and he has that thick skin to go through what he's gone through.
Did you watch the debates last night?
I did not.
No. Did you watch the interview with Tucker?
Yes.
Okay, you're one of about two. Last I checked, not even 24 hours of it being posted, over 230 million people watched it. So tell me some of your takeaways from that interview.
Michelle?
Well, he was answering the questions really tough, but he wasn't giving everybody the answers. And that's what I like about Trump. You have to try to figure out him, but he's for our country. And I like that we were talking on the way up here that he won the poll and he wasn't even at the the debate last night. Yeah. So, but he's for our country, and that's what, and when Tucker asked him, are they out to kill you? And I was like, oh my, it's a tough question to even answer. So.
Absolutely. And so I've thought about that before, too. I think a lot of Americans have. What's next for the president? They're trying to bring him down any way they can. And when Tucker.
She never does, Hoot Owl. And Marjorie Taylor Greene don't pull punches, that's for sure.
Asked him that, he just said they're savage. They're evil people. Do you agree with that?
Well, our country was founded by God. And I think we have come so far away from him. And I know it saddens him. So, and Trump wants to bring him back into our country, and our children and our grandchildren, really our grandchildren now, because our children are grown, but our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren need a foundation like we did growing up in the 80s. And
absolutely, the America that we all know and love. So out here today, you'd see a lot of Trump supporters. There are a few people out here protesting Trump. What has been the mood like for you in your eyes?
You know, everybody has free speech, so you know that's the country we live in, and so we're all to. The best thing for us to do is all get along.
And that's what's most important. And I'm glad you said that, because we do have some people behind you who may disagree with your views, but everybody's peaceful and getting along. At the end of the day, we're all American.
That's right. You're right about that. So, and we, you know, the thing is I told someone that our homeless people and our veterans were already having a hard time. And with our economy the way it is now, it's even harder. And more people are becoming homeless. And that's what's sad for our country.
It is. You look at these big cities and these they call them tent cities, where the homeless are just taking shelter because they have nowhere to go. They don't have any jobs. They don't have food. They don't have water. And so they just converge and all over the country in these cities. And it's really sad to see. Businesses are locking up. Small businesses are shutting down. What do you have to say about that?
We're in a little town we aren't, but that's a good thing. But you know, my sister and her husband, they come to Atlanta and they go to Athens and they give homeless bags out to the homeless and to the tent cities. And that's what we all gather, and we gather supplies and we do that.
We appreciate you for doing that. And we appreciate you being out here too, and continue fighting the good fight and supporting President Trump. I want to talk to you real quick. You were sitting there mouthing while I was talking, telling people at home that I was lying. What was I lying about?
Well, you were talking about big cities and crime in big cities. I just want to make sure that you're aware that crime occurs everywhere. It
does, and small cities as well.
And in the rural country. So I would.
He said, I don't know what you give me about it. I don't already know, but yeah, if you got something to send me, go ahead and send it, brother. I'll take a look at it.
It would have been nice if you said crime across America in the rural and in the.
I was talking about tent cities, where we see those in California, all over California, which is a Democrat state. You see it in New York. You probably see it here in Atlanta. Do you not?
We also see tent cities in the rural countries of Georgia.
We do.
And Michigan. Did you want to say about that? We see
do.
Tent cities in Oklahoma.
Okay, and then we also have high crime here in Atlanta. Do you think that some of these murderers that should be locked up as well as President Trump, or you think that President Trump should just be locked up and not the murderers? How do you feel about that?
I feel like everyone who's committed a crime should be locked up, including those people who committed the crime on January 6th, if you'll allow me to continue to speak.
Yes, and I'm letting you speak. And so whenever those murders are solved and these people are brought to jail and the law enforcement does their jobs, are you going to be sitting out here with a sign like you are with President Trump that Atlanta equals justice?
Yeah, Atlanta does equal justice. And the reason for that is because Atlanta is one of the very, few cities that have really come to the ground to hold the former president accountable. And that's why I'm here. And I think that's why he needs to go to jail.
Okay. Well, I hope to see you whenever these murders are solved and these murderers are brought in, that you're going to be out here holding this yellow sign. We're going to come look for you.
You know, it just amazes me that people like him can't use their brain. I mean, I just don't get it. It's like they use just the smallest part of their brain that it takes to keep them alive, eating and breathing. It's just amazing.
Okay. He won't be here. So let's go around over here. And that's just one of a couple of protesters who are out here. And so we see people are gathering over here, more protesters. So as the night wears on, they're getting louder, they're getting rowdier, they're yelling. You know, and I'll go back to that interview I just had. He's absolutely right. Crime does happen in every city, no matter if you live in a small rural town or a large city in America. Crime is everywhere. But when you start seeing these high crime rates in Atlanta, in cities in California, and you see homeless populations, and you see small businesses shutting down, you see big box stores shutting down because these criminals are going in and just stealing from them, droves of them, breaking the glass. These businesses are boarding up. Now, you don't really see that in small towns. You see that in the big city.
Garrett, they would have if he hadn't been very well protected and part of the plan. I mean, you know, it's most of these guys haven't got anybody to do the offing with. So I'm just saying, you know.
And then we go back to the song you see the song that's out number one right now. Try that in a small town, because the fact of the matter is you don't get what you get in these Democrat-run cities. So again, we're showing you what we're seeing here. It's been very peaceful, but they're getting a little rowdy right now. It's hot out here. Tensions are high. We're going to walk over there just a little bit. We're still going to stay quite away. We don't want to get into the middle of it. So while we did have some agreement, I don't like the friction. So
I'm not skipping. I'm just skipping to the part, where it was delayed while I was talking. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to hopefully show it until Trump speaks, if he does speak, and then I got to get out of here. Oops.
President Trump's advisory committee in 2020, they were censored for recommending ivermectin and other medicines. They're still saving lives every day. These doctors have come together to bring you the Wellness Company. So make sure you go to makecaregreatagain.com, makecaregreatagain.com. Get yourself the Wellness Company's Spike Support Formula to feel your best. Stay that way. Type in RSBN to save 15% on your order. Again, that's makecaregreatagain.com. We're just hearing that President Trump has left and is on his way back to the airport. Yes. President Trump has left the jail and is on his way back to the airport. We're getting word.
And I just want to say, I appreciate and thank every one of you guys for joining me today, because this was just a spur of the moment live. So thank every one of you very much. And remember, I'll be back on at 9:05 tonight. Don't forget now, 9:05. And if you hadn't liked this video yet, please like it. I'd definitely appreciate it.
From that right now. That's as well. We're going to head over to Brian now.
Awaiting President Trump, who is just pulled up in front of Trump Force One. Looks like he's going to take a few minutes to talk to the media here and perhaps share his thoughts on what just took place about 30 minutes ago at the Fulton County Jail. Obviously,
Let me know when you're settled.
we're just going to stay on a standby mode. You are watching us live on the ground as it happens here at the Atlanta airport, awaiting President Trump to get out of the motorcade and take a few questions with the press. Move over here. All right, just getting positioned so that we perhaps can take a few questions from the president. Like we said, unprecedented today. Fourth time we've been with the president on these indictments. And I said this earlier, this one felt a little different, being that it was at a jail. Courthouse has been had a different feel to it.
Brother Steve, I love you, brother, and I appreciate your support. Thanks, Steve, for listening in. I know you're working. Man, I'm glad you're getting to work some. So congratulations, brother, and thanks again.
But this has a very real feel when you're pulling into the jail. You've got the barbed wire, you've got the police.
Thank
Obviously,
you,
it
Ms.
feels
Karen.
like some type of incarceration facility. It just felt a little different today than it has in the past. And I want to get his thoughts when he comes out exactly what it was like. And he wasn't in long. I mean, he was about 17 minutes. 17 to 20 minutes inside being processed. He had a scheduled departure out of here in about 25 minutes or so. So they're probably a little bit ahead of schedule. All right, we're about to exit the vehicle. Let's let this play out. We are live here at the Atlanta airport with President Trump on this very historic day.
The man himself.
Thank you very much for being here. I really believe it's a very sad day for Americans. It's never happened. We challenged an election. We should be able to challenge an election because the election was a rigged election, a stolen election. And I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you're going to have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows that I've never had such support. And that goes for the other ones too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. This is one instance, but you have 3 other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all. And we have every right, every single right to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think is dirty. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.
Mr. President, how is this different from the previous elections, sir?
Speaking out against the rigged election, the fact that it had an opinion on the election, that opinion, that freedom of speech, that
If that ain't a man's man, I don't know who the hell is or what it would take to be one. And also, the absolute very best president, certainly in my lifetime. I mean, damn, I think President Trump is just freaking it. And I don't care what anybody else thinks. To me, he is the man. You know, what I should have done was played that song, you know, the Trump dance song, all the way through it. And I would have, but I couldn't figure out how. That's the only reason. Y'all are more than welcome, AC. I enjoy doing stuff like this. If I didn't, I damn sure wouldn't be on here doing it. Not only do I enjoy it, but I think it needs doing because President Trump is, like I said, is the best, not only the best president in my lifetime, but in my opinion, and I know in everyone else's opinion, he's an innocent man. You got to do something wrong. You're supposed to have to do something wrong before you're charged with a crime, especially crimes of that nature. I mean, the RICO, come on. That's the biggest bunch of crap I ever saw. But I'm wanting to leave this one, you know, letting it play, or not letting it play, but, you know, leaving it up where everybody can watch it later on. So I guess I better shut up. Hello, Estuo. Welcome. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Well, I really appreciate all y'all jumping in today and supporting President Trump and me by watching. I appreciate every one of you. You're more than welcome, Chris Kett. And I will be back at 9:05 tonight with the Apocalypse Now. And I hope y'all get a little hint by that name of what it's going to be about. But to me, I'll give you a little hint right now. To me, we are in the apocalypse, the revelation, the Great Awakening, as a lot call it, or calling it now. Thank you for watching me, Ma. I really appreciate you being here, and wish you could. I really do wish you could watch mine live, but I know you can't. I understand that thoroughly. But thank you for watching them on Rumble when you. Well, I hope you get to watch them every time. And the one tonight will be up on Rumble tomorrow too, or at least it should be. But like I said, to me, we are in the apocalypse right now. The awakening, the revelation, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're in right now. And that's why all this stuff is being revealed. That's what it is. All this evil corruption is being revealed right now. And how anyone could think that, Trump has done anything wrong, I don't get it. I mean, I honestly don't get that part. To those that do, I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not talking about none of y'all. I'm talking about the ones that do. Like that one dude there that was talking. Yep, 9:05. 9:05. Who else said? Y'all be sure to be back at 9:05. But man, I'll tell you what, this has been one long, amazing trip for me. And I'm talking about from the time President Trump started running until now. You know, particularly after he was sworn in. Oh, that was one heck of a day. I'll never forget those. I'll never forget his inauguration period. Particularly those two guys, those two military guys standing behind him when he said, "We are returning the power to you, the people." Those two military guys standing behind you. Then they turn around and walk off. Walk back up the steps. Man, if you can't figure that out, well then give me a call or something, and I'll help you. But they were definitely sending a heavy-duty clue there that the military was staunchly behind Trump. That's definitely my opinion of it, and I don't know how it could be any other way, because he said we. He didn't say I. He said we, and they were standing right behind him. But anyway, Trump is definitely my man. And I wouldn't even consider voting for anyone else as long as he's on the ticket. And if he wasn't on the ticket, I'd write him in. Just all the hell there is to it. So anyway, once again, thank you folks for joining me and hanging out with me. This is my first day back since Saturday night. I was supposed to went on with Indy, what was it, Monday night? I think it was Monday night. But I just felt so bad I couldn't do it. Now I feel bad because I didn't do it. But I just didn't, I was just too sick to be on there with her. And so anyway, back now, and maybe I'll get lucky enough she'll invite me back again, and I can go on for a little while with her. I hope she hadn't given up on me. And Indy, I love you, girl. I hope you know that. And appreciate all you guys. And I'll see y'all at 9:05 or 10:05 Eastern. As Chap says, the only time zone that matters. See y'all later tonight. Good night, everyone. For a little while.